Let me deal with galamsey though, because this weekend the Ministry of Mines sent out a statement and basically said that they had done a surgical operation, that's your word, on the Akonta Mining. Now, Amakofi Boa ordered the Minerals Commission to revoke the mine license of Akonta Mining. According to the minister, the company was aiding illegal mining in the Tanonimri Forest Reserve, which was not part of their lease. The minister revealed that over 30 excavators were seized and a number of people arrested. Here are excerpts of what the minister said.
One of the most egregious cases we have uncovered involves Akonta Mining Company Limited, a company legally registered and granted a government lease to mine responsibly of reserve outside the forest. The company, however, does not possess an entry permit into the forest reserve of the Samabro Enclave of the Western North region. Yet, investigations reveal that Akonta Mining has flagrantly abused this lease. In August, as you recall, in August 2022, the Forestry Commission, with the assistance of the Ghana Police, made some arrests of persons associated with Akonta Mining, encroaching on the forest reserves, specifically Compact 161. The docket was supposedly transferred to Accra for further action, and yet nothing was heard of it. So far, we have seized about 30 excavators. 5 have been required impounded at the operation base, 2 pump action guns loaded with 5 and 2 rounds of BP cartridges each, 1 single barrel gun retrieved. We have confiscated 2 Toyota Helos pickups, 1 Toyota RAV4, 4 motorbikes, and a cache of mining equipment. All suspects have been transported to Accra and in the custody of the Ghana Police Service pending prosecution. In light of the overwhelming evidence, I have authorized the Minerals Commission to immediately take steps to revoke the lease of Akonta Mining with immediate effect. I've directed the Forestry Commission officials connected to these illegalities be immediately interdicted pending further investigations and prosecution. Security agencies have been notified to investigate security officers who have had dealings with Akonta Mining in this particular forest reserve.
So that was Minister Amakofi Boa. In response, Akonta Mining has issued a statement rejecting the allegations as false and misleading and described the revocation of their license as a breach of natural justice. Quote, "We are not responsible for the activities in the Tanonimri Forest Reserve. That responsibility lies solely with the Forestry Commission and the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources," the company said. "It is deeply concerning these state institutions are shifting blame onto a private company that has never been granted access to the said forest reserve. The decision by the minister to publicly accuse us and call for the revocation of our license without any investigation or hearing is not just unfair, it's a clear breach of natural justice and a politically motivated act," the statement said. Akonta Mining also reiterated its commitment to operating within the law and maintaining transparency in its operations. "We wish to assure the Ghanaian public that Akonta Mining has nothing to hide. We remain committed to transparency, legal compliance, and environmental responsibility. All our documents, permits, and official correspondences are available for public scrutiny," the company said. Now, let's talk to the Minerals Commission on what action they've taken since this raid. Isaac Andrew Stando is the Deputy Chief Executive of the Minerals Commission. He's in charge particularly of small scale and industrial minerals. Good morning, sir. Thanks for your time.
Good morning, Bernard.
Wonderful. So was the Minerals Commission part of the raid that took place over the Easter period on this mining company?
So, Bernard, good morning and good morning to your listeners. So, we were aware of the operations, though we were not actively involved because it was mainly the security forces that actually conducted the operations, but we were fully in the know of the actions.
And so, did they notify you before or during or after the process?
So I was with the minister when the the action actually began. So I have been in the known from inception to when the operations were concluded.
Great. So what is your understanding as a Minerals Commission of the offense of Akonta Mining?
Come again, Bernard.
What is your understanding of the company's offense or violation, for which reason the minister has asked you to revoke their license?
So, Bernard, a little bit of background. So, Akonta Mining has got some leases, and they have some other leases that are pending. The forests we are in question at the moment, they don't have lease for them. And the areas they even have leases. I mean, the process of the lease is something that we all admit that we need to look at. Because when a lease is granted, you would have to go to EPA for environmental permits, go to water resources for water permits, and then come back to the Minerals Commission for operating permits before you can start mining. So just having the license alone is not enough for people to commence mining. But what we have seen is that as soon as a permit is granted, people just jump into conclusion and start mining, which in itself amount to illegalities. So yes, they have some permits, but they don't have the other permits to work in certain areas. But the forests where the actions took place, they have no permit at all. So on the basis of having a permit and not having the other required clearance to be able to do your job and conducting mining activities, in itself amount to illegality. So on the basis of that is why we are revoking all the permits that they have.
So is it your understanding that they were found within the forest reserve actually doing the mining, or is it a reported speech? Because I asked whether you were involved in the process, because the minister has directed that your organization revokes their license since you are the issuing authority, of course, with the permission of the minister. So were they caught red-handed? Is there evidence? Did you take journalists? Do you have videos of them actually mining in the forest? So, because they are denying it. The company denies it. That's what I'm saying.
Yes, so Bernard, I mean, no one just gets up to conduct such an operations without due diligence. There were background investigations, there are videos, there are coordinates of the areas that these actions were taking place. So I'm actually surprised about the earlier letter you wrote. I'm yet to look at it, but there was a clear-cut violation of what ought not to be done. Yes, there are coordinates, there are photos, there are videos, there are evidences of what was happening within that forest.
So do we know how long they had been mining in that forest reserve before this operation?
So if you could remember, and if you could check the minister's statement, of course, I joined the Minerals Commission in February, but from the narrative, and then there was also a couple of stories online. In August 2022, I think the Forestry Commission, with the assistance of Ghana Police, arrested some people in the compartment 161, and which was a whole lot of noise across the country. And then eventually, there were some news from other quarters saying that these guys were not engaged in illegal mining. We didn't see the head and tail of the story. But for what we have now, for the intelligence we have now, for the coordinates we have now, for the videos we have now, it is more than enough to go after the perpetrators. In any case, the AG has been advised to take up some of this conversation and make sure that the powers that be that are behind some of these perpetrations are brought to book.
So the minister said that this operation resulted from undercover investigations which showed the company was operating unlawfully. The company says that they feel like you should have at least conducted an investigation, but to just arbitrarily, or at least on that's what they are saying, to just announce in a press conference that they are involved in illegal mining in the forest and then to publicly direct that they have their license revoked is not fair. Does the Minerals Commission intend to go through any process before revoking their license, or as we speak, their license stands revoked?
Well, we just go straight ahead to revoke the license. I mean, if they have any cause to come against or file against the decision, I mean, they have every right to do so. But we have enough evidence not to let them continue with what they are doing. In any case, this is just the beginning. People can write letters or write rebuttals and stuff in the newspaper. I don't think it's anything to, I would bother my head with that. I would leave the AG to process and start with its work and make sure that the noise we've been making, at least the brains behind some of these catastrophic activities, are dealt with in a manner that will put other people away.
Are you surprised about the scale of what the minister said was found? I mean, he lists 51 people arrested, including 8 Chinese, 30 excavators, 5, weapons, 2, quite pretty serious stuff, in one raid. Is this normal for the type of operation that it was?
Bernard, it's not normal, but we're going to do more. We're going to do more. We're going to go after people. And things are in place to make sure that we succeed against this fight. As we speak, we have over 150 excavators seized. That is quite huge, but we will continue. I mean, this government will not relent on its fight against this galamsey and make sure that we succeed and get our water bodies and our forests back into states they deserve.
Whilst this Akonta issue was going on, we just got a report that the police service has also arrested 47 suspects and seized significant haul of equipment and weapons in the western region, particularly Samreboy. And this arrest, we are told, followed a 4-day intelligence-led anti-galamsey operation which began on April 17. So is it that there are concurrent operations happening as we speak? Because this seems to be around the same time that the ChannelOne was announced.
I think it's the same thing, if my memory serves me right, because the tunnel forest and then the river, this operation was around the Samreboy. So I think it's the same discussion.
No, actually, because then it's interesting because in the Akonta one, 51 people were arrested, but in this one from the western region, we are told it was 47 people, and the source of this story is the police. So I'm not sure if it's the same place. They mentioned 17 excavators, 1 bulldozer, 4 motorbikes, 2 Toyota Hiluxes, and a wide range of heavy-duty equipment. I'm not sure. Maybe you have the facts. But the other question I have for you has to do with Forestry Commission officials, because the minister also said that there are some Forestry Commission officials who were colluding with the company and taking monies. Can you elaborate a bit on that? As in, a state agency officials aiding the illegal miners?
Yes, so I mean, the underground works that were done indicates that there are people that are being paid with taxpayers' money that are actually part of this syndicate. So we're going to bring everybody to book. And even with the Minerals Commission, we are also looking within ourselves whether our officials, our inspectors, anybody is a party to this particular disastrous activity. But yes, the point is we are committed in fighting this. and we'll fight it too.
It's interesting that the IGP is saying that he's doing a reshuffle of police commanders stationed in galamsey hotspots. That says a lot about the way the fight has gone, right? That it, like, the police doesn't even trust its officers working in these mining communities, and therefore this morning we are told that he's reshuffling 38 of them. I mean, that's pretty interesting, isn't it?
It is. And Bernard, when you are dealing with money, when you are dealing with money, it's a very complicated thing. And when you leave people in a place for a long time, familiarity would set in, people would make friends, people will get closer to people, and they would be able to influence their decisions. So that was the recommendations right from the beginning, that if it is possible, we don't allow people to stay at one place for a long time so they can build relationships and it becomes difficult for them to do their job. But yes, that would happen. We need people to come. We need people to make sure they do their job as they're being paid with the taxpayers' money.
Finally, what about the accusation that this is a politically motivated arrest? Because we know that Akonta Mining has something to do with Bernard Ntwubuesiakun, MPP chairman for Ashanti region. And so basically, they are saying, if you are going to arrest or you are going to clamp down on Akonta, what did you do when the NDC constituency chairman for Our Win was accused by his chiefs of engaging in galamsey? I mean, was he arrested? Was he questioned? Because if you are going to be arresting people for galamsey, we need to know that you are not doing it on a political basis. What's your comment on that?
Bernard, I disagree. If you want to start any work, you will start from somewhere and end somewhere. And I think right from the start, the minister made a statement in some of our press conferences that nobody can hide behind party colors to commit such perpetration. So whether NDC, MPP, it really doesn't matter. The state machinery or the state institution ought to do their job and make sure that we protect our environment and the people of Ghana. I will not go into anything politics. I have a job to do, and my job to make sure, I protect the environment and also the people of Ghana, and that is exactly what we are doing. So for the fact,
but do you agree that at least I'm just saying that, do you agree that there should be an investigation of the allegation against the NDC constituency chairman for Our Win?
No, it's not that. I know that case is also being followed to the latter. You remember the case where the judge ruled that the police released the excavators and whatever.
Yeah.
You remember
yes,
that
yes.
issue?
Last 2 weeks.
And the judge quickly had to make a U-turn. Even the judge, we're still not done with the judge. We're still not done with those perpetrators. So it's a whole broad game. It's not about MPP, NDC. And then let me urge Ghanaians that in this fight, if we don't come together as one and bring these guys to book, and we continue to do MPP, NDC, then we've lost the fight. This is a fight for humanity. This is a fight for the next generation. This is a fight to protect the land that our forefathers have given us.
Definitely.
As far as I'm concerned, we are out there to wage a war. It doesn't matter, and nobody will
definitely.
And so far, Bernard, I can tell you that we haven't approached any site or anybody or any activity for anyone to pick a phone call to call us to say, guys, stop this work, they are our people. No, the president has given us he has thrown his weight behind us to make sure that we bring this fight to
All right. Thank you.
to
I raised that matter not because I wanted to politicize it. I just felt like basically I need to remind you. Yeah. So it's not because we want to politicize it at all. Yeah. Once somebody's accused of engaging in galamsey, they should be investigated, and if they are found culpable, the law should take its course. So I just wanted to state that point. But thank you so much for talking to us. I appreciate your time.
Sure.
Yes. So we've been speaking to the Deputy CEO of the Minerals Commission, Andrews Isaac Tando.